And she has also, please, if you can't hear me, just drop a message because I wouldn't want us to miss anything. And even as I'm introducing the guests, you can start putting down your questions. You can start putting down comments. You can start putting down things that you would want her to talk about because we'll have a session for questions and answers. So she served as the registrar of Bingham University from 2019 up until 2024. And I tell you that even beyond her role as registrar, she was a mother to many. And I can testify to that. She has also held several strategic leadership positions within the institution. She has also served as acting director of guidance and counseling, head of the academic division, and also she was the acting registrar of Bingham University. She holds a PhD in guidance and counseling from Nassau State University. I know there are a lot of persons that are bearing doctors based on honorary degree, but she works for it. She went through the research, went through the rudiments, and she came out with that degree, that doctorate degree in guidance and counseling. And she's widely recognized for her many contributions to the academic space, both in administration, in leadership, in counseling, and even in development. Dr. Diaghi has attended and presented at several national and even international conferences. I tell you, we are really honored to have her present today to speak to us from the well of wisdom that she has. She has published several scholarly works in counseling, in education, in gender studies, and then in artificial intelligence. I tell you that she has what it takes, the knowledge to talk to us about thriving in male dominated spaces. She has also received multiple awards in different contexts and in different spheres: leadership awards, service awards, excellence awards. She's passionate about mentorship, about institutional growth, and about student-centered services. And in everything she does, she works towards promoting excellence. And then I will tell you that you should sit back, get your writing pad, and listen to everything that she would have to say because I tell you, there is nothing she will drop this afternoon that is not a gem or a lesson for us to pick. So can we just send emojis? You can unmute and clap, and let's celebrate even as we welcome Dr. Esther Joy Diaghi. Thank you so much, ma. She's speaking on owning your space, confidence, competence, and unapologetic leadership. Thank you so much. We're happy to have you. Please, let's keep celebrating her. Let's keep celebrating her. Thank you so much. We're truly honored. Thank you, ma. The floor is yours, ma.
Thank you very much for and to speak on this topic. I will, after saying thank you, I thank all the organizers for this opportunity. Actually, the topic is very timely: thriving in male-dominated spaces, strategies for women's leadership and influence. But specifically, I'm going to talk on owning your space, confidence, competence, and unapologetic leadership. I would like to start by saying this. You know, if you are a female and you drive on the way, you agree with me that as you are driving, maybe somebody stops in front of you and you match your brake. The people behind or others will say, "See her, it's even a woman." So I really don't understand what this has to do with "it's even a woman." Does it mean that a woman cannot drive, or that a woman cannot match her brake when someone just accidentally enters her front, or what? But the point is, when we talk of uh, owning our spaces as ladies, as women in leadership, what we mean by that, what do we mean by owning your space? Owning your space is to be able to be confident, to know that no matter what, okay, sorry, just a minute. Let me go back to that slide one. So what does owning your space means? As women today, Male-dominated spaces are everywhere, and it can be challenging to be able to stand and fit into those spaces as a woman. And the goal is not for you to fill into those spaces, but for you to be able to thrive, even and influence and make an influence in that space. Thriving is not just about being present. It's about owning your space. That's making sure that where I am doing that which I'm supposed to do. I've been told to talk more with some experiences. At a point in time, I stood election for vice president of Bingham University Cooperative. And what I got was, how can this woman come and want to be vice president? That passed, somebody won. The next time I contested, I have ×2, in fact, almost ×3 of his votes. The total votes. Even if I share my vote into 2 and give him, he will not still make it. So I became the president of the cooperative. And each time we are going to have a meeting, people will say, some will have meeting before meeting to tell themselves that this woman, we are going to deal with her in this meeting. But I told myself, nobody can deal with me in a meeting that I stood, competed for, and said I was going to be president. I was going to move the cooperative, and no shaking. No man will make me feel somehow. So it means that there are these spaces, but the challenge is even when you want to feel it as a woman, they belittle you, they look down on you. So the goal is not just to survive, but to thrive and also make an influence. Thriving is not just about being present, but owning the space. So in that, we need to understand that there are male-dominated spaces that people feel is just a man that can fill those spaces. For the environment of leadership, where you make influence and it's mostly controlled by men. In corporate organizations, mostly it's men. In politics, it's mostly men. In ministry also, it is all mostly men. In academia and in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, is mostly filled by men. So how can a woman thrive in this kind of space? You need to know that in owning your space, you need confidence, competence, and unapologetic leadership. Confidence, competence, and unapologetic leadership. So in that, after knowing those areas, those fields, and many other fields where men feel it is their space, and for a woman to fill that space, they may not really agree or give her that. So the common challenges women face in owning your space, in even getting to that space and even owning it, is that women are mostly overlooked. They are constantly proving competence, because if you don't prove competence, then definitely know that you will be looked down upon. And there are very limited spaces for women to fill. There are very limited spaces for women to fill. So if you are going to own your space, you need to know that by so doing, with these limited spaces, gender stereotype is also a thing that will challenge you to be able to fit in that place. So in order to own your space, you need to know that even though these places are filled with men, that you are capable. Those environments, those political areas, those corporate organizations where men feel they are the ones that should be there, or even for us, one funny thing is that even women look down on women that are put in those positions. They just feel, how can you, a woman, go and start competing with men? This place is just for men, not for women. But you are so therefore, after being in that position, you constantly have to prove your competence. You also know that the limited space is there. You have to, if you have found there. And as such, what do you need to do in order to own your space? You need to recognize your worth. You need to know that you are valuable. You need to know that you are not just somebody that anybody can downthroat on you. You need to know that you are valuable, you have a voice, you are worth it, and also need to speak with confidence. You need to show up fully. You need to refuse to shrink back. You know, sometimes as women, once we are faced with that position, we just feel incompetent about ourselves. We feel, can I speak in this place? How will it be if I speak? How will people look at me? From experience also, one time before I joined Bingham University, while I was working in Equastar School as the guidance counselor in Jos, my principal said, Mrs. Deji, you are going to coordinate the graduation program. I told her, sorry, ma, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, all these big people will be there, and what do I say? And maybe I'll make mistake. Maybe I'll speak some English that are not supposed to be spoken that way. She said, you must do it. If you want, go and speak in your dialect. As far as I'm concerned, you are the person that will lead. And do you know, let me tell you, that was a push that helped me to know that, yes, I can do it. After leading the program, my council chairman came and shook my hand and said, well done, you have done very well. And the council's chairman was somebody that is very, he does not give compliment just like that. If he gives compliment, you know he really means it. So when he said it, my principal was so happy. After the whole thing, she came and hugged me and said, you did well. So you need to know, you need to stand. You need, when you are speaking, you speak with confidence, that you refuse to shrink back when maybe so many eyes are on you. When, for example, if you're in administration, you know that you have to stand before people. And when you are speaking, you need to speak with that confidence and know that it is you that everybody is looking at. And ensure that you don't look down. You know, there are some things that we do, mostly when we are walking or we're talking, we put our heads down. You know, that shows lack of confidence. By the time you are putting your head down, it means you are not confident of yourself. You need to, in fact, sometimes you need to even raise your head and really raise your chin up and know that, yes, this is it. And so you show that you are really confident to do that. You have to lead with clarity and with purpose. What am I standing here to do? What am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to handle this? So if you don't define your worth, the room will define it for you. Because if you don't define who you are, that you are capable, you are able, you are the person occupying this office or this space, and so you know what you are doing, the room will definitely define it for you. Back to experience, while in Bingham, there was a decision that was taken. And I told the person came and told me that whether you like it or not, I'm going for sabbatical. I said, sir, you've not fulfilled the years you are supposed to fulfill before going for sabbatical. You go for sabbatical after 7 years. He said, whether you like it or not, I'm going. I said, okay, fine. That is somebody that walked to my office as a professor to tell me whether I like it or not. I said, I am when it comes to being the registrar and the chief administrator, so I know the books. And I went and spoke with the VC. When the letter came, I told the VC, no, this man is not up to the years that he's supposed to go on sabbatical. VC looked at it and said, sorry, registrar, I was wrong. And when that man got the response that it is no, the person felt, who does this woman think she is? So your internal authority, the confidence you have is what makes you know, because you believe in your value, you trust your ability, you speak without fear, and you act despite self-doubt. So when the professor came and was saying, who are you to tell me what I will do? What do you know in administration? I'm going to show you. I'm going for this sabbatical, whether you like it or not. I said, well, I know the books of the university, and it says it has to be after so number of years. And you've not fulfilled those years. So I can go ahead and tell you it is not possible. But confidence is not pride. It is not arrogance. It's not perfection. Confidence has to do with the fact that you know what you are doing. You know and you are prepared to go for it. Practically, confidence means you prepare before the meeting. You prepare before anything. If you are going to have a presentation, you make sure that you read through the material and know what you are going to do. When you are speaking, you speak intentionally and you do not compare yourself with others who are not able to. You tell yourself, I am Esther, and because I'm Esther, I'm able to do it. Don't look at yourself and feel, no. And then you need to be able to celebrate your progress. You develop a positive mindset. Do not be, you have to be optimistic. You have to tell yourself that it's possible to do it. And that way, you don't say, I'm not sure if this is right, but no, that already shows you don't have the confidence. But rather, you say, based on my experience, I recommend this to be done. The next thing is that you need to, after you build your confidence and know what you are going into any meeting or anything with in mind, if it's the books, if you are in charge of the books of the company or the books of the place where you work as the registrar or so. Okay, I keep referring to registrar because that was what I was. So as a registrar, you make sure that you know what are the bylaws, what are the instructions that the university have, what does NUC, what do other bodies that are supervising you say about it. And then the next thing is, the confidence open the doors for you. When you go for an interview, you go and appear before the panel confidently, answering the questions as it is. When they ask you, do not behave as if you don't know. In fact, if you don't even know, search from inside the back of your brain. Look for something that looks like the answer and give it with confidence, smiling and showing as if you really know what you are doing. Now, once you enter inside, what will now keep you is competence. So confidence opens the door for you. Competence keeps you there. And that is where you show your credibility. And competence means knowing your work, delivering excellently. You continue to learn in the way you are working. Learn because new things are coming up. And so you have to learn those things that are supposed to be done. You are supposed to be dependable and you are supposed to be solution driven. That people can come to you in the company or wherever you are working because you have already gained entrance through the confidence you had as you faced the interview panel. And then now you have to show your competence of being able to handle that. When I entered the office as a registrar, acting registrar, I just told myself, Esther, can you do this? In fact, there are people that were looking at me and saying, this woman, she cannot. Who are we to submit to her as registrar? She cannot do it. 1 year, 2 years. After that, I believe that by the time I left office, even those that were not talking to me because they felt that I would not be able to do it, will come and say, Kai, you this woman, you are too confident about yourself. So competence has to do that each time you continue to learn and know what and the areas you are supposed to answer. You are also supposed to know your work, you know your job properly. Someone came to me while as the registrar, and EFCC had invited us to bring some documents. And the person said, why will you take documents without, you are supposed to cover some things. I said, EFCC invite me, then I should cover. You want them to come you people will have heard that Mrs. Diage is in the hands of EFCC because she refused to give documents that she was supposed to give. But I confidently told the person, I know my work. As the registrar of the university, every document of the university is in my hands. So I should not be asked for any document and I'm not able to present it. I've gone to NUC, I've gone to ICPC to answer questions about people that do fake admissions and they put Bingham University. The good thing is they never signed their name as Esther Diagi. They will sign their names as whatever they want, but there's only one registrar. So I go confidently and tell them that this is not our signature. This is not our admission letter. And this is how we operate in Bingham University. In fact, one committee that came one time said, this woman, why are you talking so passionately? You want to protect your place of work. I said, no, it's not protecting my place of work. It is the fact that we don't do this here. This and this and this, we don't do it here. This and this and this, yes, we do in Bingham University. And I can confidently tell you that it's true of Bingham. So you need to be competent enough to keep yourself in the room. When they were leaving, the chairman of the committee said, Madam, hey, you know your work. I said, thank God, sir. He said, I don't want this humility of thank God, sir. But you know your work. You really defended the university properly. So you have, apart from being confident, you have to show that you have the competence to remain in the room. You are not just there, but you know what you are doing. So in developing competence, you have to invest in learning and training. You have to improve your communication skills. You have to stay informed in your field. You have to build expertise internationally and nationally. You have to seek mentorship and coaching because there are people that have been there before you that know. So there is no shame in going to ask them, how do I do this and this and this? Like for registrars, we have what we call ARNU, that's Association of Registrars of Nigeria Universities. You can go there as a registrar to drop a question. I'm not clear about this. How do you do it in your own universities? And you get responses. So as a lady, you need to also explore those places where you are able to ask questions and you get responses from other people in your field, in your area that can help you build your own. There's one old man said, you need to borrow somebody's wisdom, add to your own wisdom so you become wiser. So borrow somebody's wisdom, add to your own wisdom, and you become wiser. So that is what it means for you to be able to be competent. That even in areas, in fields where you're not sure, there's no problem for you to say, the book says this. And if they say, are you sure? Say, yes, let me get the university law. Let me tell you, for instance, when I entered Bingham, one thing I did was I carried the staff condition of service, took 2 days, read through everything, took the university law, read everything. I used a pen to draw lines under some areas where I feel somebody may ask me at any time. And so I made sure that at least I had a knowledge of whatever is in the university law, in the staff condition of service, and other books that has to do with the university. So you need to stay informed in your field. And then you need to ensure that you build influence. This excellence builds influence, results strengthen credibility. So because you are competent, you build all those, you get all that, and then you are able to stand firm and do your work. So what the next thing is unapologetic leadership, leading without shrinking. Unapologetic leadership has to means that you take initiative, you own your achievements, and even if they say there are failures, own them. You set healthy boundaries. You speak with authority. You refuse to be minimized or as nothing. As a lady, most of the time when you talk in a place, some look down on you and they feel, why is she talking like this? Who is she to talk like this? I enjoyed working with Professor Currick so much because Professor Currick, he will make sure that whatever we do, we go by the books. And he'll tell me, registrar, as long as we go by the books, we have to stand by the books and not allow anybody to intimidate us. One time he told me he went to Kaduna and some people were discussing and they said, VC, how are you managing with this, your registrar? This woman is too stubborn. When she stands on something, she stands on it. Those of you that passed through Bingham, you know, sometimes people think that Mrs. Deji is wicked because if they catch a student on drugs and they say suspension, go to rehabilitation. Some parents will come and say, please, we're begging you. We cannot allow our son. Let's just manage the person. And I tell them, you cannot manage a child like this. You need to make sure that your child, save your child first before you manage your child. So they were gossiping that this woman is too hard. And my VC was smiling. He told them, if it's not because this woman was hard or is hard, then we'll be doing things haphazardly in the university. Whatever she's doing it by the books, and I support her. So when you speak authoritatively, make sure that what you are doing is you are going by the books. So that nobody will look down on you and say, see this woman, see this lady, why is she behaving like this? So you don't need permission to lead. You are already put there in the leadership position as a lady. And so because you don't need permission to lead, you, as much as possible, you refuse to allow people to shrink you or to look down on you. So you don't apologize unnecessarily, like you say, sorry for speaking up. I'm not supposed to speak up. Or because they now say, see, she's a lady. There is nothing like sorry for speaking up. What is there is that you are speaking up and you are speaking what is supposed to be done as a leader in that place where you are, because you know what you are doing. So instead of saying that, you say, thank you for the opportunity to contribute. Even if it's in a meeting, you don't say sorry for speaking up because you are supposed to speak up. So you say, thank you for the opportunity to contribute. You don't say, I may be wrong. You say, here is my perspective on this. So you are not too much. The space is simply not used to women like you. And so you need to show yourself as a woman that you know what you are doing and speak it confidently to the people around. So how do you navigate the challenges that has to do with as a woman occupying your space? Sometimes as a lady, when you are talking, people might interrupt you. So, but when they interrupt you, calmly look at them, but know where to step in. Don't allow people to just keep talking and talking. For instance, I went on sabbatical at Anastacia.C.C.A. University, and incidentally, the vice chancellor is a lady. And this woman, and you can imagine, she's the VC. I would not be wrong to say 70 or 80% of the Senate members are men, professors and others, males. The females, let me give them about 30 or 20%. But this woman, once she throws something, she throws a question up and people are talking, she allows you to talk. But once she draws the line, when she wants to draw the line, she draws the line and draws it well. So nobody will not say she's even a woman. When I was leaving the place, I told her, I'm very happy because I've learned more from you. The fact that you don't allow the Senate to move on anyhow, you are able to reinforce what you say. So she will calmly tell them, as I was saying, we need to take this position as a university. So with all the debates you have said about this issue, what does the university book say when a student is found impersonating another person? It says suspension for 1 year. So we stand by suspension for 1 year. She will just say, that is the decision, bam. And nobody, even those that will be arguing, they know that they cannot challenge her again beyond that. So you make sure that you address the people properly, knowing what you are doing. Other strategies you could use is building strategic relationships. You know, sometimes when you don't have strategic relationship, you may not be able to really have people that will support you. This one is a secret. Now I'm telling you people. But as a lady, what you need to do is that you need to build strategic relationships with people at your workplace. Why do you need to build strategic relationship? You need people that will support your point when you make a point at a meeting. You need people that will say, yes, we see it from her side. This is the right thing to do. So if you don't have strategic relationship with the people you are working with, by the time you go and present something, nearly everybody may raise their hands and say no to what you have said. But if you have strategic relationship, people that respect you, people that look up to you, people that trust what you do, they will be among the first that will say, I want to support what the registrar said. But if you don't have that, you find out that no matter how beautifully you present your matter, they will laugh at you and throw it away. You need to document your achievement, and you need to stay emotionally intelligent and maintain professionalism. So sometimes maybe the pressure might be so much that if you're not careful, you lose your hold. And before you know it, I've had parents come into the office in the university and says, look at you, you are just a woman, but you mean you cannot listen to what we are saying? How can you say that my child must go on suspension? Who are you to talk that way? Some will raise their voices to the extent that I'll say, please, if I feel I'm going to get angry about a particular situation, all I do is to say, please, can you walk out of my office? I don't want to talk further about this. And the person will be screaming, why will you say you don't want to talk about it? I'll say, please, can you go out? Sometimes my secretary will come in and say, Madam or Oga, Madam say, go out now. Now, why I'm saying go out is because I don't want to get angry to the extent that I voice out things that I'm not supposed to. So it's better I tell the person, please, can you go out? This is the position and it's not negotiable. Please, can you go out? You see, you are not being arrogant. You are not being full of yourself as some will go out and say, this person is just full of herself. But telling the person to please go out is so that you also will calm down. And by the time you calm down, when next the person comes, you know what you are supposed to say. So you need to be emotionally intelligent, and you also need to maintain professionalism. Because it doesn't make sense for me as a registrar or as somebody holding up an office to start up and say, go out and start screaming at the top of your voice. Then that means you don't own that space. If you own the space, show that I own the space. Don't allow anybody push you to the extent that you get so angry that at the end you are not able to compose yourself and talk properly. You also need, the next thing is that there is need for presence and influence. There's power in your presence. Presence includes body language. It includes eye contact. It includes tone of voice. It includes professional appearance. It includes emotional composure. So when people should be able to read from your body language that you mean what you're saying. Maybe I'll digress. You know, I'm a counselor, so let me digress and say it in the counseling way. Maybe a boy wants to knock you. Let me use people's language. A boy wants to knock you, and he's touching you, and you're saying, no, leave me now. And you're not really saying it meaningly from your heart. No, don't touch me like that. You know what that conveys? It conveys you are saying no, but in action you are saying yes, I want it that way. So your body language should be able to speak for itself. Eye contact. Don't be ashamed. You are put in that position because you can do it. Have eye contact with people as you talk, and also maintain your composure. Consistency, integrity, relationship, added value. This comes with influence, comes with this consistency. People know you for who you are. Your integrity, who are you, and how do you compose yourself? How do you stand on the truth no matter what it is? Because even if it's my child, I remember my daughter once went on suspension. That one is a discussion for another day. You will say, why? Why didn't you? Then I was not registrar. But even as registrar, my son Samuel will come and say, Mommy, you are the registrar now. I want to go home. Allow me. I say, no, go and take your exit. If you go and collect your exit, then you can come. While in academic office, I signed exams cards then. My daughter had 1,000 naira balance to pay for fees. I went to Diamond Bank, Access Bank in Mararaba, paid the 1,000 in bank, and came with the teller and gave and said, go and pay, change it to receipt in the bursary. The people in my office were saying, Mommy, you will have just collected this and give her now. Why do you have to force yourself just 1,000? I said, I don't want somebody to tomorrow say, Madam carried exam card and gave her child. So quickly, biblical examples of people, ladies that led. Deborah, who was a judge in Israel, you know, the men could not go. They said, you have to go with us. Esther was the courageous woman that was able to stand before the king and say, this is what I want. And she was given. Priscilla, along with her husband, were tent makers. They also taught Peter what to do as a child of God. So God did not place you in the room to be silent. He placed you there to influence others. So there are 3 C's in leadership model. 1, confidence. Confidence is you believe in yourself. Competence is you develop your skills and excellence. Courage, you lead boldly and unapologetically. Finally, stop shrinking yourself. Your voice matters. Your leadership matters. Your contribution matters. You do not just belong in the office or in the room. You carry the capacity to transform it. So if you carry the capacity to transform it, that means in everything that you do, you are able to be looked at as the woman full of capacity that is able to do that which she is supposed to do. Thank you very much. Sorry, I've taken more time than I was supposed to take, I think. Thank you very much. I'm so grateful for this time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Ma. Can we show the emojis? Can we clap? Can we celebrate our mother and our doctor, Dr. Esther, for that educative and insightful session? I'm waiting. Show more emojis. Yes, let's tell her how grateful we are. Thank you so much, Ma. Honestly,
Thank
I
you.
learned so much and I picked so much. One of the things that I'm taking back is that I'm not shrinking for anybody. No matter what, I'm not shrinking. And also one of the questions that we have would also would want you to still make emphasis on that not shrinking. Because one of the questions that we have here, someone is asking that in a space that feels so saturated, there are too much there. I don't think I have any value to give. I know you spoke about expertise and also staying informed, but what are other practical ways that we can move into spaces that are so saturated that we can still even give value? Oh, so many people are doing it. So many people are already in that market. Who would want to listen to me? Who would want to pay money for this? Who would want to employ me? Thank you, ma.
Thank you. You can do your own. You can do it differently. You know, there are people that go to sell, probably want to sell this phone. If you want to sell this phone, you have to go extra mile, not just as people say, come and buy phone. You start telling them, this phone does this function, this, and also you can't, look, there are things you can do with that smile as ladies, but you have one beautiful smile that captivates the men. Sorry, the men on this place. Sorry for going that way. You have one wonderful smile that you can do. Uh, One time I said, I'm not going to shrink. Nobody will make me shrink. I was driving and I didn't know the present DVC of Bingham, Professor Dankel, was the one that was trying to trafficate and enter the road. And I was going to turn and enter. So he honked his horn. I had already trafficated. I just turned my steering. When I entered, when I turned and entered, I looked at him and smiled and said, oh, sorry about it. So I would have said, oh, I'm a woman. Let me allow him as a man to pass. No, you don't need to do that. You know, there are times that men will like to intimidate you as a lady. Some of the grr is just gara gara. They want to intimidate you and they want to show you that you cannot do it. Just as I told you, a professor told me that whether you like it or not, I'm going on sabbatical. I said, sorry, sir, I hold the books of the university. You are not going. And when it happened that he couldn't go, he now told people that this woman is very wicked. By the books, you've not spent 7 years, so the 8th year you go. So you are not going. So if you know what you stand for, no matter how, don't allow men to intimidate you. If you drive, you will know that men intimidate even in driving. Day first, they were coming from town. And one Agbero that they gave ride in a pickup. When we're driving, he came and hit the car, bam! And then he now said, it's even a woman. I told my daughter, don't allow them to pass you. So she drove on. In fact, they didn't pass us until we came to the junction where we're turning in to go. So it's just gra. So make sure that if you shrink, because if you're driving and they do gra and then you match your brake, somebody hits you from the back, you say, see, you this woman. Okay, let me close this by saying this. Do not shrink. I was driving in Jos. It was drizzling and someone was coming from behind. I had trafficated to turn right. I didn't know he was holding his phone and making phone calls. So I just had bam behind my car. He just came down from his car and looked at the front of his car. His was damaged. He peeped at me and just went out and carried his phone. So I also came out, looked at the back of my car, locked the car, went and stood under the one shop where some bike men were standing. And one bike man said, ma, don't allow them. Don't allow him. He was making phone calls. So he's at fault. And then somebody that had the shop said, look at you, you're even a woman. Instead of you to go down and apologize to him, you just came down, looked at your car, and you came to stand outside. Are you not a woman? Can't you go and apologize as a woman? I said, you are very stupid. I'm a woman, but this man hit me from the back. According to the rule of driving, when you hit from the back, who is at fault? He is at fault, of course. So he continued saying, hey, as a woman, I said, you are very stupid. If it's your mother, let your mother go and apologize. But I'm not apologizing because I'm not at fault. So you can imagine, if I start doing, sorry, I start shaking, what do you think will happen? I'll be responsible to fix that man's car because his car was badly damaged. So, shrinking can be even in apologizing for something you didn't do. You start apologizing. And a man, sorry, the guys, a man would love to hear you say, I'm sorry. And that's the common thing ladies do. Whether you're at fault, you say, I'm sorry. He's at fault, you say, yeah, I'm sorry. You're not always, I'm sorry. You should be able to narrate your point and stand by it. Thank you. Did I answer that?
Yes, thank you so much, mommy.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much, ma. So we have two other questions. I will just say them together so you can touch on both of them. So
Okay.
the first question now is, as much as the world is evolving and people are getting into different spaces, we still have some men that believe that a woman's worth is just in her body. If you don't pay with your body, you can't get anything, you can't get any opportunity. And so in spaces like that, that every man is looking at, oh, you're even getting this position because of what you are doing. How can we navigate that kind of situation? And then secondly, we also know about environmental limitations, even family limitations from your tribe, from your home. They believe that no woman has gone into politics in our family. Oh. Don't go and bring wala for us. So leave it for men, leave it for the strong ones. Don't do it. But you feel that passion and that urge to go into it. For persons that bring starting up NGOs, that they know that it's not as if they are getting money from tree or somebody is dashing it to them, or their family is saying, "Don't do this one, no, just stay in your 9 to 5." How can we take daring passions and daring steps when the family is saying, "No, don't do it"? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. It's a bit difficult when it comes to this issue of ladies using their bodies. It's so unfortunate that a lecturer had said one time when we're hammering on, stop following our girls, stop following them, allow our girls to come and read and learn and go. One lecturer said, "Ma, I respect you, but your girls bring themselves to us. And so when they bring themselves, if chicken comes, say, make I chop, I go chop them." I said, that is very bad because that chicken fit be your sister or your pikin. Yes, there are offices you go to and people feel you must give yourself. I went for an interview to work with a mortgage bank, and the man told me, come to my office, come around 5 p.m. I said, but 5, you people have closed. He said, just come, I'll be waiting. I didn't go. The next day I went around 2. At least everybody was still in bank. He said, I told you to come around 5, you refused to come. So he now said, today, come by 7 p.m. My car is so color. I'll park it there. That's the manager. The car will be outside by the bank, and then you meet me by 7. I said, sir, which office are we going to talk about by 7? He said, no, just come. When you come, I'll make you understand. I refused to go. I didn't go until after 1 week. When I went, he told me that, you, this girl, you didn't want the job. Did you see somebody at the counter there? I'm sure you saw a new face there. She loved the job more than you. So she got it. I told him, sir, 7 o'clock, my father will not even allow me to go out of the house. I will not even come out of the house because what am I coming by 7 to do? 7 p.m. Will the office not be closed? He said, I told you I'll wait, and I waited for it till 8 o'clock. Hello, what kind of office is he taking me to? To go and use me back? So if you use me, next, if I'm due for promotion, I have to give myself to him. So as ladies, you have to stand your ground and tell yourself that this beautiful self, this beautiful body God has given to me, he didn't give me for somebody to come and take advantage of me. So I will not, and I will never open my leg because you want to give me a job. And then subsequently, remember, if you open your leg because you're getting a job, you get a job. But when you are due for promotion, you have to keep opening your legs for the person before you are promoted. When an opportunity comes for something to be done, you have to open your legs. Are you ready to be opening your legs for somebody that an old man that is already married with children, maybe the children are even your age mate, and he'll tell you that you come so that he'll give you job. If it's that kind of job, my dear, stay away. God would give you a job that is really your own, that you don't have to sell your body to get it. Because if you sell your body once, you keep selling it for other things that has to do with getting promotion, getting to go for seminars and other things. Then the issue of that is also part of stereotype when it comes to the fact that they tell you that this profession is not for ladies. You cannot be a lady and come out for politics. You know what is happening with this lady from Kogi, this senator, Senator Natasha. You know, whether it's true or not that somebody was following her. But one of the things is that because the Senate is full of men, I think they said on the Senate, women are not even up to 15 or even 10. So men feel that it is their rightful place to be in the Senate. But is it only men that should be there? And I love the way she handles her matter. She tells them that she is representing her constituency and she will have to do it correctly. So you need to assert yourself because you know what you are doing. But we need to break through and know that it is not just for the men to be in politics. Because even simple advice that they give some a woman, be an advisor on women affairs in the state or in the federal government, be an advisor. They go, no, I cannot do it. If I do it. And then some people that think that you have to sell your body will say, if she did not sell her body, she wouldn't have become the minister or she wouldn't have become this and this and this. But it is not like that. It is not, people don't sell themselves to be in a position. And it is we, ladies, that need to show people that we don't have to sell ourselves to be in that. And we need to let our parents know. Thank God we old people, our own we're already moving off. I think it's even becoming better in you people's days. Because in our days, if you want to read engineering, they say engineering is not for ladies. There are so many courses that they feel it's not just for ladies. Just as they feel nursing is not for men. They feel men cannot do nursing. Nursing is for women. But women are endeavoring into other fields. Or you want to start an NGO and they say, as a woman, how will you do it? No, please, you will not succeed. But women are succeeding in those fields. Guess what? I want to start a consultancy, guidance counseling consultancy office. And I know I can do it. And so don't allow people to tell you cannot. Tell yourself, I can, and I will make it. So as a lady, sometimes with our parents, we have to go gently with them. A student that read computer science in Bingham University told me something that happened with her father. They called somebody to come and install their DSTV. And the man worked for hours, he couldn't install it. So the girl came and she was looking at what he was doing. Then she said, no, do it like this. The father just screamed, from that place, who are you? What do you know? She came to my office and said, Mommy, my father paid money for me to read computer science, but that I cannot tell this man what and what to do. So I left. The man could not fix it that day. He left. The next day, the man came and Daddy was in the office. She now told the man, see, this is what you are supposed to do. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And he connected everything. It was working fine. Then the father came and was saying, I knew that you can do it. Thank you, Oga, for fixing this. He said, sir, no be me. Now your daughter show me what I go do. So, and when the man called the daughter to come, she was afraid because the father had shouted at first. So she came and the father said, is it true you're the one that did this? She said, yes, Daddy. You paid money for me to read this course, but you are looking down on what you paid money for. So I said, let this man do. That was why he could not do it yesterday. And today, because we are not there, I showed him and he was able to do it. So our parents can, and they will be able to gradually with us educating them, telling them it's possible, we can do it. Thank you very much. Sorry for taking your time,
Thank
Dr.
you
Uzams.
so much, ma. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma. We're truly grateful. One of the
Thank you.
important things mommy mentioned was knowing your work, expertise. Even if it's connection or favor that takes you to a position, let people know that you have value. Let people know that you are bringing something to the table. Thank you so much, mommy. Right now,
Thank
we'll
you.
be diving into the next session. And I was made to understand that our speaker has been here right from the beginning to show you how committed he is to us learning and even picking a lot of gems. So we're going to be inviting Dr. Moses Ibrahim. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring our invitation and being here to teach us and to speak to us. He's talking on understanding the room. Every space that you enter, you need to understand how to relate in that place, how to even access some of the opportunities that you get. And then it's going to talk specifically on the power of perception and knowing how bias works even in male dominated spaces. So please let's sit tight. I'll briefly go through his biography now before he comes up. He's also a doctor. He earned his BSc in anatomy from ABU, and then he has his master's and his PhD degree. Honestly, I want to say this, that it's not, they did not dash him the degree. He did not pay for the degree. These are speakers that are well seasoned in everything that they are doing. And so he has a passion to pursue knowledge in his desired field. He's a promising individual with a rising cadence for scholarly enrichment. We are made to believe that he has worked in ABU Zaria as the anatomy demonstrator. He has also lectured at Newgate College of Health, Mina, and even in Bingham University, which I'm sure that most of the attendees are students of. He's also a lecturer in Bingham University and a senior faculty member in the Department of Human Anatomy. We are seeing people that are giving value and being promoted. We're meant to also understand that he has secured major grants like the TED Fund grants, like the Dana Brain Awareness Week grants, like the ASN travel grants, and many others. He has published several articles and he has also received numerous awards based on merit and even excellence, everything that he has put his effort, his time, and his resources into. And then as a neuroscientist, his research is focused on different areas. I'm sure areas that are even emerging that we do not even know so much about different diseases, cognitive impairments, dementia, using even advanced neuroanatomical techniques. It might seem like big words, but I know that he has come to simplify and give us a lot of strategies because these are areas that will see a lot of male personalities. But he's going to be speaking to us how, as ladies, how, as women, we can also thrive in these male dominated spaces. He's currently the coordinator of the Nigerian Brain Bee competition, which is a program designed to showcase the intellectual abilities of secondary school students across Nigeria. He's an active member of several national and international bodies. Honestly, after this, we need to give our founder and convener her flowers because she's bringing speakers that are not only seasoned in Nigeria, but are even experienced when it comes to international platforms. So he's known for bringing a blend of transformative leadership and sustained commitment to advancing research, mentoring, and inspiring the next generation of medical professionals, neuroscientists, and even scholars at large. Can we make welcome with clapping, with emojis? Can we welcome Dr. Moses, even as it comes to speak on understanding the room, how power, perception, and bias works in a male-dominated space? Can we keep celebrating him even as he comes up? Thank you so much, sir. You have the floor.
Thank you, the moderator, and thank you, the organizers of this wonderful program. I want to appreciate you for finding time to bringing me here to come and share the little experience that you have. I also want to use this opportunity to celebrate our mommy in the house, um, Dr. Mrs. Esther Diaji, the former registrar of Bingham University. Thank you very much. You've done justice to the topic. And I want to say particularly that I'm very, very blessed. I feel very, very honored to meeting you on this platform. And I pray that as we continue in this section that God will grant us access to what we need to know. So I'm sharing my slide. I don't know if we are seeing it, if we can see it. Am I audible enough?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
you are.
So thank you. Mommy has actually delved into a lot of issues, and I wouldn't want to repeat many of them. At least she's spoken to us from wealth of experience that we have actually listened to, many years of experience, but she actually did justice to it in just this few moments that she was given. There are a lot of things that she's actually pointed out, which I feel that is very, very important, that if every one of us will lay hold on those keys and tools and strategies that she have actually pointed out, that we will all succeed in our different spheres of influence. Now, permit me to also generally speak on different issues that will help us navigate, even as female or ladies, in our spheres of influence. Now, there is actually a stigma that is being associated with women, and it is very, very important that we actually rise above such stigmas that are associated with the female gender if you must survive in your place of work or wherever settings you find yourself. You must understand that the female gender are not just participants, the female genders are not just watchers, but they are innovators, they are collaborators, they are transformational leaders who redefine what leadership looks like. And so while it is expected that women actually bring in their contribution in their different spheres of influence, they are faced with different challenges. And so those challenges, just like mommy said, should not make you to shrink or hide inside your shell. Rather, they become an opportunity for you to demonstrate your strength, your competence, and your vision. She mentioned three important keys that if you should lay hold of them, that you are going to survive, no matter where you find yourself as a female. That is, you must be courageous, you must be competent, and then you must be confident. So those three C's are very, very important, even as we progress in the journey of life. Now, I will quickly speak on some of the strategies for leadership, you know, in order for you to influence your world, in order for you to take charge and dominate, even in the place of your work, even in the areas where it's mostly dominated by men. All right. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, and I'm coming from the spiritual angle now, is that every female needs spiritual empowerment. You need to be spiritually fortified. You need God's hand to rest upon you so that you'll be able to succeed. All right. Now you have to fortify yourself. That is allowing the Spirit of God to come upon you. We know the Bible told us in for concerning Mary that the Holy Ghost came upon her and she was able to do what was never done before. She gave birth to the Savior, and that is why today every one of us were redeemed by virtue of that spiritual empowerment. There are so many examples in scriptures, even though they might not be female, that they were empowered by God, and because of that, they were able to fulfill their destinies. So the female gender are not an exception. So if you must succeed, if you must influence, if you must dominate in the area where God has placed you, then you need spiritual empowerment. Then mommy talked about competence. in her presentation. Yes, that brings us to the second pillar, that no matter what you do, if you are not competent, a point will come that you will either be displeased or you will not be needed. All right. So competence means that you must sharpen your skills. Competence means that you must take action where necessary. Competent means that you must be ready to solve targeted problems and fighting to keep the finisher spirit, that is to finish whatever assignment that you have been given. And number three talks about relational dynamics. Mommy talks about mentorship. So if you must be able to command in the sphere of your influence, then there is need for strategic networks. I'm coming to discuss elaborately on all of these points as we proceed further. You must be able to collaborate. You must be able to ask questions so that you don't make mistakes where you don't know. You ask questions, and then you must be able to also avoid conflict. Very, very important, because as you work in any organization or wherever you find yourself, there are different things that may conflict with your ideology, with your authority, with all of that. So you need wisdom in order for you to know how to be able to manage that and navigate even in the place of work. Now, there is a difference between somebody who is just merely existing in a system and somebody who is actually influential. You know, it is popularly said that nobody is indispensable. Excuse me. There are people that no matter what you do, yes, nobody is indispensable, but no matter what you do, if such people leave a particular system, it will be a vacuum is left, and it will be very, very difficult for such a vacuum to be filled. Yes, you might get people that may do pockets of things there and there, but the input and the result will never be the same. All right. So, but how do you become an uncommon leader and not just a mere participant and not just a mere individual, a mere female that is just existing in an organization? All right. So, the first thing that you must do as to become an uncommon leader is that you must know exactly who you are. All right. And know your assignment. Very, very important. You see, it is popularly said that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So if you know your assignment very, very well, then you will be able to say, okay, this is who I am, this is my assignment, and I'm fulfilling my assignment. No matter what happened, no matter what is coming my way, I'll fulfill my assignment. For example, Jesus, he knew his assignment. What was his assignment? His assignment was simple. He was coming to die for humanity in order to redeem us, in order to save us from the sins of the world. All right. So his assignment was simple. And so there was nothing anybody would do that would drive him away from that assignment. So you see the power of focus, not being distracted, knowing who you are, knowing what you are here on earth to do. Number two is that you must cut ties with discouragers. Very, very important. Mommy was saying something, but if you pick it very, very well, if you listen carefully enough, you will understand that while you are a female, there are many people and many factors that may want to discourage you from fulfilling your assignment. And so it's very, very imperative and important that you ignore such people. You ignore their remarks, you focus on your goal and achieve them. Number three, for you to become an uncommon leader is that you must ask questions constantly. There is an adage in my language says the person who asks questions does not miss road. Very, very important. So while asking questions, you are learning. So you must remain ever learning to remain relevant in the sphere of your influence. And number four is that you must have the spirit of a finisher. Whatever you start, have it at the back of your mind. I'm not giving up. I'm not stopping halfway. I must finish the assignment that is before me. Now, this is what makes an uncommon leader different from mere people who are merely existing in an organization. What are their characteristics? You can see that such people, they actually bury themselves in mediocrity. They are paralyzed by slander. Once somebody just says something, they are discouraged. They don't want to do the assignment again. They feel discouraged, and because of that, before you know, they lock up. Number two, they engage too much with contentious people, so they are being distracted by battles. All right, and then they, if you don't want to be displaced in life, you must ensure that you are not stagnant. You don't remain on one spot. And number four is that these kind of people, they are double-minded. They are unstable in their ways. No wonder the Bible says that such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. All right. Now, I was saying I was going to explain extensively on the three pillars I've mentioned earlier on. In any space that you find yourself, I said earlier on that you need supernatural empowerment. And we have a scripture before us that says, but ye shall receive power after the Holy Ghost come upon you. And that coming upon you by the Holy Ghost is to enable you to perform what others cannot do. So you have the enabler that is come to empower you, that is come to give you power for you to do what others cannot do. The meaning of that is where others fail, they are not supposed to fail. The meaning of that is, as a female, where others are struggling, you are not supposed to struggle. So even when you find yourself in male-dominated environment, you can also find areas where men are struggling. And if by the help of the Holy Spirit, you are able to receive his help, you discover that you have a divine edge over such categories of men in that environment. When the Holy Ghost comes upon you, right, it gives you divine edge by being your teacher. It says it shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance. So he teaches you what you need to know. He teaches you what you need to do in order for you to succeed, in order for you to have edge over every other persons in your workplace. All right. Now, this is very, very fundamental to becoming an uncommon leader, so that you are able to dominate your sphere of influence. Now, the next thing I want to also talk about is that for you to be able to navigate also environment. All right. And in customizing your environment is that you begin to say, okay, where do I want to be 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now? I believe while she was growing up, I want to achieve this by so age, and then begin to picture herself achieving all of those things. I give you my experience as I enrolled for my PhD. I have the picture in my mind that I was going to finish. So I had that finisher's mindset. All right. So in getting my form, I did the convocation, matriculation. I snapped a picture and then I enlarged that picture and I kept it in my room. Every day when I wake up, I tell myself I will finish this program, because not everybody who starts finishes. So I told myself, no matter how long it takes me, I will finish. So I begin to visualize the reality. I begin to visualize my future. I begin to visualize what I actually wanted to become. And in so doing, it was pushing me to becoming what I have envisioned, so that I will be able to achieve my desired expectation. Number two is that in customizing your environment is that what you see controls what you desire. All right. What you view daily affect what you desire to do. So just like you have a picture of what you want to do, it begins to spoil your desire. It begins to encourage you. It begins to make you not to give up. It begins to push you so that you can be able to see that desire come to pass. Number three, is that you must have daily decisions. These images, all right, that you have kept in front of you actively influence the direction your decisions that you take. Okay, it influences the decision that you take. For instance, all right, um, Mary had this encounter that she was going to give birth to the Savior of the world. And because of that particular encounter, that would not make Mary misbehave. That will make Mary to keep herself. That will make Mary to say, no, I won't waste my life the way other young ladies are wasting their life, because she's had an encounter. So there is this image that you keep in front of you that influence your decision so that you don't make wrong choices in life. All right. Now, this brings us to the next point. You must be known for something if you actually want to dominate in areas that are mostly dominated by men. Now, if you look at the slides, you notice that when you hear the name Thomas Edison, what comes to your mind is invention. All right, he invented light bulb. When you hear about Henry Ford, what comes to your mind? You know about the man who actually designed a car. When you hear of Oral Roberts, all right, you know that he was an evangelist that was characterized, his ministry was characterized with healing. When you hear of Michael Jordan, what comes to your mind? What is the famous basketball player? So you must be known for something. What are you known for? That is the big question. What are you known for? And for you to be known for something, you must ensure that you are focused. You are very, very focused. You must not be double-minded. You must not be unstable. Just like we read earlier on James chapter 1, verse 8. You don't have double mind, because as you begin to have double mind, you are diverting your energies. You are diffusing your energies to many things. And because you are diffusing your energy to many things, you won't achieve much. All right. Now, that brings us to the mechanism that is the passion is power. Okay. So significant success requires an obsession. So you must fall in love with that thing that you want to be known for. You must fall in love with that thing passionately about it. Something that completely consumes your thought every time. You are always thinking about it. So I want to believe that for Michael Jordan, right? Anything he was thinking about was basketball. If there was anything he was thinking about was basketball. Okay? So the same thing should apply to you. You are channeling your energy so that you can be able to be successful in that area. And while you are doing that, you must ensure that you chart your course. Okay? You will actually be remembered for one thing, whether good or bad. You'll be remembered for one thing. So the challenge is be known for something, put your energy into it so that as you put your energy into it, you become a master in that thing. And because of that, you discover that you'll be valuable in the system and you'll be ever wanted. Okay. Now, you must be a problem solver. Mommy said something about you being a solution provider. Yes, you must be a problem solver. If you want to actually lead in a male dominated space, you actually want to influence your system, you must be actually be ready and willing to provide solution. You must also ensure that somebody somewhere is receiving help because of your presence. Okay, so that anytime you are absent, your presence will be felt, your absence will be felt. Okay, now in the scripture, right, we know that Moses was actually sent to solve the problem of the Israelites. They were actually in captivity, they were in bondage, and so the deliverer Moses was actually sent in order to bring these people of Israel out of their captivity. All right. Aaron also was assigned by God to actually help Moses. So he was a problem solver. He was a problem solver. All right. Jonathan also was assigned to David at a point in time for him to solve the problem of David. Okay, Jonah in the Bible was also a problem solver. We see in the scripture that God sent him to Nineveh in order for him to go and preach the message of salvation so that they will be able to repent and turn away from their wicked ways. So Jonah was also a problem solver. So the handmaiden that was in the house of Naaman was a problem solver. When she saw the challenge of her master, all right, she quickly went and told the madam, I have a solution for Ogao. I know somebody who can actually help him come out of this situation. And when they gave her listening ear, history was made. The officer was healed, and then we saw that she became a solution provider. Now we know of Ruth. Ruth was attached to Naomi. She will say to Naomi, I will not go. I will follow you, even though I've lost my husband, even though I've lost everything, even when Naomi was persuading her to go back to her people, she said no. But we saw Ruth clinging to Naomi because she was sent to become a problem solver to Naomi. Now, the ultimate question that we should ask ourselves is this: why are you here? Why am I here? It's a big question that tells us our purpose on earth. Very, very important. Okay. Now, competence will never be overemphasized. Okay. Mommy talked about competence, the three C's. Competence was one of them. Very, very imperative. Okay. And how do you become competent? You must ensure, for you to be relevant, you must ensure that you invest in your skills, attend seminars, ensure that you remain competitive in the sphere where you find yourself. If you don't update yourself, you will certainly become outdated. There's what you call, for those of us that did chemistry in secondary school, is what is called the displacement reaction. If you don't update yourself, the bad news is that you'll be outdated, you'll be replaced. So you must demonstrate competence, continuous growth, if you actually want to remain relevant in the sphere of your influence. Never find yourself or never remain stagnated in one spot. Okay? Never remain stagnated in one spot. You must be ever learning, you must be ever growing, you must remain relevant in your sphere of influence. Now, there is a warning for us. There is an example for us. Okay? King Saul lost his throne because he failed to sharpen a specific skill. He was not a man that hear God directly. So God have to send a prophet to him. Okay? Now, we are seeing in the scripture that King Saul was displeased and was replaced by David. Why? Because he didn't hear God for himself. And that lack of skill led to him disobeying God. And when he disobeyed God, the resultant effect was that he was displaced, he was replaced. So the same thing is applicable to every one of us, that we must ensure that we are updated, competent enough so that we will not be displaced. All right, so that you maintain your voice, so that you also not be intimidated by any male in anywhere you find yourself. Okay, the next thing is that you must have a finisher spirit. The Bible says, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. You must tell yourself every day when you wake up that I must complete little things. Okay, you have a to-do list that you actually want to finish. You have a goal set aside that you actually want to finish, whether short time or long time. You have them want to finish, so that as you are doing that, people are seeing your result, and then they don't claim ignorance of your existence. Okay, so whatever you do, do it heartily, so that you will be able to finish whatever assignment that you have to do. Now, I said earlier on that you must develop strong network and ask questions. You must have mentors. Okay, must have mentors if you must succeed. You must reach out to people who are ahead of you. You know, Jesus was constantly consulting his heavenly Father, the God, and then you will hear him most of the time. He will say something like, I can do nothing except what I hear my father tells me to do. That is what I do. In the same vein, if you want to dominate, you want to succeed in male-dominated environment, you must ensure that you have mentors. Mommy have just given us our own experience. Perhaps some of you are future registrars, some of you are future leaders in different organizations. You will want to reach out to her, maybe as a mentor now, to say, Mommy, I know God have helped you to succeed in your position as a registrar before, and even where she's currently heading now. All right. So you may want to say, okay, can you advise me on how to go about this, on how to go about this, on how to go about this? So as you keep in touch with your mentors, it will be very, very difficult for you to fail. I guarantee you that. Your success is in view if you actually have people that are actually telling you what to do and what not to do. Number two is that you must stay in touch, all right, with counselors. Okay, you must ask questions, rather you must ask questions. Okay, so asking question is actually a master secret. When you ask question, when you don't know what to do and you ask question, you receive answer. What happens at that particular point in time is that doubt is gone. Okay, it dissolves fear. Okay, and then it reveals more information for you to be able to tackle the problem that you are actually having in front of you. And so the next thing we want to actually look at is that while you are actually working in a particular organization, you can never shy away from conflict. Mommy just told her own experience, how she was able to manage and handle some conflicts that actually come away. So there are frictions that we actually encounter even in the place of work. Yes, even as male, we actually encounter friction, but your ability on how to handle them is what determines you or places you as a wise leader, as an uncommon leader. Okay. Now, when you have in the place of work, you have people who are contentious, people who are actually problematic. The question is, how do you handle them? Okay, you begin to ask yourself this question: is this person who is a contentious person, is he actually a difficult person? Can I please such a person? Okay, if your answer is no, then the next thing you do is to proceed with what is called professional grace. There are people that no matter what you do, you cannot avoid them in the place of work, because of course, you know that you must attend meetings with them. You must be paired to do one or two work together. So if you notice that such people are contentious people, then you must be able to trust God to receive grace in order for you to know how to handle such kind of people. Okay. Now, does the battle that you are facing, okay, produce significant reward for your dream and goals? Okay, if the battle you are actually facing, all right, will produce significant reward, why not face it? Okay, I don't believe in somebody running away from battles. No, you face it. You see, the reason why David ascended the throne was because he faced Goliath. Okay, so while you are in a male dominated environment, yes, you will face some challenges. It is not for you to hide in your shell and run away from those challenges. No, it's that you face it so that you'll be able to get your reward, and then you'll be able to attain your dream. So you can succeed. The good news is that you can succeed anywhere you find yourself. You can succeed in the midst of contentious people. You can succeed. Okay, so life is too short. Don't permit people to discourage you. You must have the mind that while you are working with people, you will definitely face friction, but your ability to be able to handle such friction is what will make you to succeed. All right. Now, three things, if you forget everything that I've spoken today, three things you must remember so that you will become relevant in a male-dominated environment is that number one, you must be an inventor. You must be known for something. You must be known for something. Okay? And what you are known for should be something that actually consumes you. And that thing that you are known for should be able to transform your industry or the sphere that you find yourself. Mommy mentioned Deborah. I just mentioned Ruth. All right, and the rest of them. So there must be something that you are known for that will actually transform the environment that you find yourself. Number two is that you must actually be a problem solver. Okay, you have an assignment, you have a problem to solve. Okay, when you are in that environment, what problem are you solving? What are you bringing to the table? Very good question. We saw that Moses was sent to bring the children of Israel out of Egypt. Ruth was assigned to Naomi to help her. Naaman's handmaid was the reason why Naaman was cleansed from his leprosy. So you must be able to solve problem. When you solve problem, I tell you, you become indispensable. Number three, you must have the finisher spirit, the power of completion. You must be able to endure to the end, all right, to be able to fulfill your mandate. Okay, so very, very important. As I round up in conclusion, anytime you find yourself in a male dominated space, all right, you must be tenacious, you must be bold, you must be focused. Okay, your future is up to you alone, but you must be willing to motivate yourself when nobody else is capable of motivating you. All right. Now, the condition that is actually surrounding you may not be favorable. You may not have a single encourager. You may not have a cheerleader in your cycle. You must be, you may be the only female in the industry. What you do is that you must be able to make yourself different, all right, so that you can be able to be celebrated in that sphere. Lastly, your leadership will cost you. Sacrifice. It will cost. Your impact will be historic. I give you a round up with this. Naomi, Ruth refused to leave Naomi. And because she refused to leave Naomi, Ruth later became the woman that married Boaz. And we are now seeing that it is from her lineage that the man Jesus actually came from. And Jesus became the savior of the world. So your leadership will cost you everything, but the impact is actually historic. Thank you for listening. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moses. Can we celebrate him for that powerful session? That was very rich. Thank you so much, sir. Keep celebrating him. Yes, 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 yes. So I give you your flowers. That was very insightful. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
We indeed have to be different, honestly, because even the Bible says that we are the lights. And so we have been sent into this perverse world for us to stand out and be different. So, sir, briefly, we have 3 questions for you to do you want me to ask the 3 together, or I should take it one after the other?
Okay, maybe
Dr. Moses?
anyhow you want to take it. Yes, anyhow you want to take it is okay.
Okay, so let me ask you the first question. You're talking about networking, and then I'm combining 2 questions that our participants asked. One of the questions is, um, most times when she asks questions, people see her as being weak. Oh, it's a woman, so it's understandable for her to not know these things. Or of course, she needs guidance. So how would you navigate such situation? And then the second question that I'm combining is, on the other side of somebody saying that she's a perfectionist, and then she feels she can't do something if she doesn't know everything about it. So what's the balance that we can bring it to those different situations, and which one should we get towards? Thank you.
Okay, if I get your first question very, very well, um, talks about intimidation. All right, somebody being intimidated
Yes,
because maybe she's asking
you're
questions, all of
asking
that.
questions. Yes, you spoke about mentorship and
Yes.
everything, but yes, yes, sir.
All right. Um, you see, everybody is entitled to his or her own opinion. It is you who knows where you are going. It is you who knows what you want. I said something very profound, that when you ask question, you're not asking question because you want to ask question, or you want people to notice you. No, you are asking question to be able to get access to information that are relevant to you in order for you to make progress in life. Okay, I don't know how you see asking question, but that is for me. If I'm asking question, I'm asking question for me to be able to get information. And so if my asking question, somebody is not okay with it, that is up to his or her. But my dear, I don't want you to be intimidated because people are talking. The truth of the matter is, if you depend or you put your ears to what people are saying, the truth of the matter is that you will never go far in life. You will never go far in life. So you must put deaf ears to people who are actually making one or two comments. Mommy said something earlier on, that when she actually wanted to contest for president of cooperative, that people were belittling her, saying, who is she? Who does she think she is? How can she say she want to contest for this? If she pay attention to such kind of people, she will have hide herself into a shell and she will never become that president. Okay, so my counsel to the person asking this question is that you must put a definite ear. Now, I tell you a story of somebody, all right, um, who actually was in a race, and then the the goal was that he would climb up a height. And while he was climbing up, people were actually saying all manner of things, all manner of things, all manner of things, but he put deaf ear to them. And at the end of the day, after he successfully climbed up and brought down that thing that he was actually targeting, people came and asked him, how were you able to do that? It was then that they noticed that the man was actually deaf. So he was not hearing whatever they were saying. So if you must succeed, then you must be able to put deaf ears to the comments that people are actually saying concerning you. Your own idea, your own goal is for you to get information that will help you succeed. Okay. So what is the second question?
So this is the other end of someone that is perfectionist. So you talk about being a problem solver when we concluded. So this person now does not even want to engage until they know everything, they have all the resources. It has to be perfect. So what is the balance and what's the counsel that this person can get from you?
Okay. If you are actually waiting to be perfect, then you will not achieve anything in life. That is the truth of the matter. I remember when I started my PhD, I wanted to do a novel work. I wanted to do something that people will be like, wow, you did this, you're able to bring this finding, and it's a novel work. All right. But along the line, I had a chat with my supervisor, and he told me, he said, you must not do something novel. If you want to do something novel, that means you waste your time in this venture. So he counseled me and he said, well, you just have to just do something that meets up to the standard, and then you'll be able to achieve your dream. And that was it. Now, you don't wait to be perfect. You don't wait to say, okay, I want to be perfect before I can be able to venture into a particular sphere or a particular area. No. What you just need to do is for you to just get the basic, the minimum knowledge, the introductory knowledge, and from there you can be able to build. There is no building that just stand up in a day just like that. Every building that you see has a foundation, and it's from that foundation that you begin to see blocks are being added one after the other, and after some point, after some time, what you see is an edifice. So my advice is that don't wait to be perfect. Just start from where you are. Whatever you have is enough. You know, the prophet told that woman, he said, what you have is enough. He said, go and borrow vessels. He said, what do you have? He said, I have a little jar of oil. He said, it's enough. Go and borrow vessels. And the more she kept pouring, the more she kept pouring, the more she kept pouring, all the jars she borrows became full. So what you have, the little idea, the little information that is at your disposal is enough. The only thing you need to do is to build on it so that you can be able to succeed. I don't know if I was able to answer that question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Moses. You really
Yeah.
answered it very well. Just because of time, I would ask one more question from some of the participants. So someone is asking, how do you balance between attractiveness and likability? I'll break it down. Wanting to stand your ground and put your standard for it, and then also allowing people to feel, oh, like you, and not stepping on everybody first. How do you put a balance in the workplace? Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear it. I don't know if you can type it.
So Moses, is
Yes,
it
network is
okay?
breaking. Yes,
Can you hear me now? Should I
I can hear
speak
you now,
again?
but be more audible, please. Maybe you take your mic very close
Okay.
to your mouth. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me
Yes, I
now?
can hear you now. Very good.
Okay, so the person is asking, where do you draw the line between assertiveness and likability in the workplace? Knowing when to, okay, just mellow down for the sake of others, or standing on your ground, standing on your values and your standards. How do you balance it in the workplace? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Um, Assertiveness is actually, I don't know how to put it, but it's a skill for you to actually express your thoughts and feelings and your needs, okay, and also your boundaries clearly and respectively, all right, without being passive, without being aggressive, without being disrespectful. I'll put it that way. Okay, there's a way you can actually air your opinion, and then you are not disrespectful, you are not aggressive, you are respectful in dishing out your own point of view. Okay, so when you find yourself in any settings, maybe in a place of work, and then you need to express your feeling, it's very, very important. Wisdom demands that you be matured about it. Yes, people, as human beings, there are times that you can actually be hurt. But my mom used to tell me something. She used to say that if you actually want to go far in life, yes, it looks foolish, but she actually said that you must come to a point whereby you must act like a fool. Now, acting like a fool does not mean that you don't know your rights. Acting as a fool does not mean that you don't know what you are doing. No. But while you are in the verge of pursuing peace, you must also be careful that, yes, I will express my thought, I will express my feeling, I will express my needs, I will express my boundaries clearly and respectfully, so that nobody will cross the boundary, nobody will hurt my feelings, nobody will disrespect me, and nobody will be able to say, okay, this person is timid or not. No. So in your place of work, you must make sure that you have all of this quality. I will give you um, a clear example. You know, if you normally watch the parliament very, very well, maybe for some of us who take some time to watch the parliament, I don't know if you know the son of Nasir El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State. His son, if you have been following him of recent, I've been watching him. He's a very, very young man, even though people do not like his father for whatever reason, and for the things he did while he was a leader in government. Okay, but we are seeing that his son is actually somebody that is being loved, even though sometimes in the parliament his opinions differ with people that are his seniors. His opinion differs with people who have been there before him. But sometimes you can see him bringing his contrary view respectfully, bringing his contrary views, and he tried to let them know that in as much as he is very young, he is, yes, respectful. He is bringing out his thoughts, and he wants them to be respected. He's airing his feelings, he's airing his needs, and as such, they respect him. Now, why I'm saying this is because yesterday, I was going through a video where he actually decamped from APC to ADC, and then you could hear the Speaker of the House saying, "My son," even though the Speaker have irreconcilable differences with his father, but you could hear him calling him "my son." Now, this is somebody who is actually assertive. This is somebody who actually knows he have the skills of expressing his thoughts, his feeling, his needs, his boundaries without disrespecting the other person and the flow. I don't know if I was able to answer that question. So that is
Yes,
what you need to do.
thank you so much. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Timothy. So I'll be handing over to the co-moderator, but I would ask this last question,
Um,
and then she would come up to round up for us. So, sir, what Dr. Esther spoke about mentorship, and then he also emphasized on mentorship. So it's a very important factor in actually
yes.
being a person of excellence and value. So, what are some of the factors that you must look out for in picking a mentor? Because you can find some persons, maybe two or three, that know these things. But what should you look out for beyond just that knowledge the person has? What other factors should you consider in choosing and deciding to come under this person's mentorship? Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that question. In choosing a mentor, you want to actually choose somebody who has actually gone ahead of you, somebody who you admire, somebody who has already achieved the results that you are looking forward to achieving it. You see, because um, you cannot give what you don't have. So it's what the person has that he will be able to give unto you. Now, there's this saying that says, I if I go far in life, if I'm able to see far in life, is because I was able to stand on the shoulder of giants. So the person you are calling a mentor should have achieved what you are trusting God to be able to achieve, what you are seeing yourself becoming. For instance, I I've been trusting God to be able to win grants, all right, in the academics. Okay. And somehow I begin to tell myself, okay, I need to I need to I need to get a mentor who has actually won grants, so that he can be able to show me the path on how to be able to do that. And by God's grace, when I came under such mentorship and tutelage, I was guided, and before you know it, I was able to win in the space of 2 years. I've been able to win like 4 grants. Okay, so that is one of the key factor, and I think it supersedes all other factors. There are many factors, but for me, that is very, very key and primary, that somebody who has achieved what you are actually designed to achieve, then who has the medals of what you actually want, where you want to be, then you can actually say, okay, can you actually mentor me on this and this and that? So while you do that, you discover that while you are under such mentorship, you'll be able to achieve sweatlessly with ease that thing that that person has been enjoying or achieving. Thank you.
All right. So that means that I would not be picking a mentor who has no experience, or who hasn't achieved the goal of something that I personally want to meet up with. Thank you so much, Dr. Alza, for taking time and intention to making this session be what it was. You totally
Thank you.
wowed me, to be honest, because I didn't think that you take it in the direction that you did, and we're absolutely grateful to you. I also want to use this
Thank you.
opportunity again to thank Mommy. From the session, one of the things that stood out for me was that confidence. We had many people asking that they want to learn confidence, or in place of the challenges that they face, one of the things that they mentioned was ill confidence. And from that session, I could pick out that confidence is not something that you learn. It's not something that you just get or master by the books. It's something that you master, it's something that you are imparted with once you take deliberate steps to seeing what you want to see. So thank you so much, Mommy. Thank you once again, Mr. Auza. And I didn't mention that our moderator is actually Barrister Joy of Mobile. I want all of us on this call at the moment to just appreciate these three persons who took their time to instill us with knowledge like this, the kind of knowledge that once you check your bank of knowledge, your bank of or your well of wisdom, you find that these are the things that make up for it. So I wanted to just thank all of them with emojis as you can. So we should have had a much more interactive question and answer session, but because of time, we'll just be collecting them via chat. I mean, you could text privately on the group chat, and we'll take these consents to the speakers who do want to get responses from, and we'll revert to you. Thank you once again. Thank you once again. We're extremely grateful. We have come to the end of this session successfully. Thank you very much, everyone. See you. Okay, someone is raising their hand. I'm so sorry. Praise God. Good
Evening, ma'am.
Go ahead and speak. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. I can hear you. Is that something you want to say? All right. I think she's having a challenge
Dr.
with the
Esther.
network. Sorry.
Good evening, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Clearly. Yes.
Yes, my question is for Dr. Esther. I would like to know if she'll be open to personalized mentorship.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All
Mama,
right
how will
then.
I get your contact information?
Um, if you want to get me, you can get my number from the moderator.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
okay, you can get my number, or I can just call out my number.
Thank you, ma'am.
0803
0803
608 70,
608.
yes, 7049. 0803
Yes, ma'am.
608
Yes,
7049.
ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I
Good to
hope
hear
that
your
when
voice
we go
again. Good
back, we
evening.
would appreciate.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dr.
Okay.
Ausa, how
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you? How is Kachia? Well done.
Fine, ma'am.
I
Thank
enjoyed
God.
the
Thank you, ma'am.
session. I enjoyed your
Yes.
session.
I enjoy yours too. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good to hear from you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I hope that we would be able to appreciate this session when we go back. We see that beyond just acquiring knowledge, we've been able to also build meaningful connection, like Grace just did. So once again, I'm rounding up. I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody. We are immensely grateful as a team to those who took out their time to ensure that they were here. I also want to say thank you. It's not a small thing to sit back and just trust some set of people who present a program to you like this one. And I hope that some of the questions that you had have been answered. You know, even though we understand that one meeting like this may not be able to exhaust everything that there is, with time, we treat so many other things that we cover all the necessary things that we need to as um women for our growth. Thank you so much. I hope that you have a great evening. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.